the only mammal that willingly delays sleep? Did you know being deprived of sleep for a prolonged period of time has led to death? In our last program, we discovered that various levels of wellness exist. Some people may not even realize they are living at a lower level of potential than what is attainable for their optimal health and brain function. So how do we determine if we are living at a level under our optimal potential? Let's consider 10 healthy living choices and their impact on health. Many more healthy living choices impact health than these 10, but for today, we will limit our discussion to these. Consider sleep, water, nutrient deficiencies, optimum nutrient requirements, stress management, activity, recreation, relationships, oxygen intake, and regular medical wellness visits. Sleep is a natural periodic suspension of voluntary bodily functions to allow the body and nervous system to rest and recuperate. When adequate sleep is not achieved, the cumulative long-term effects of sleep loss and sleep disorders have been associated with a wide range of negative health consequences, including an increased risk of hypertension, diabetes, obesity, depression, heart attack, and stroke. Prolonged sleep disturbances or deprivation can lead to decreased mental function and learning. In fact, some cases of prolonged sleep loss have led to death. In general, most healthy adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. However, some individuals are able to function without sleepiness or drowsiness after as little as 6 hours of sleep. Others can't perform at their peak unless they've slept for 10 hours. Water is the most essential macronutrient needed to live. It provides no calories or nutrition. We can live 40 days or more without food, yet being deprived of water for more than 3 days will cause most of us to die. Losing 10% of the water in your body can make you sick. A loss of 20% can mean death. Water is the universal solvent that all life on Earth depends. It is the medium used to transport food materials within the body. More and more research indicates that maintaining optimum levels of hydration is critical for health and peak performance in sports and recovery. Nutrient deficiency. A nutrient deficiency occurs when the body doesn't absorb the necessary amount of a nutrient. Nutrients are vitamins, minerals, fiber, enzymes, protein, fat, and carbohydrates. A deficiency means a lack or a shortage of a needed requirement. The recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, is used to indicate the average daily level of intake sufficient to meet the nutrient requirements of nearly all healthy people. When the body does not receive what is required, the body truly does suffer in some degree of health and brain function. For example, vitamin A, which is used by the retina of the eye to function, if not provided in sufficient quantity, can lead to blindness. This is just one tiny example. There are hundreds of possible deficiencies, and we'll discuss each more fully in upcoming programs. Optimum nutrient requirement. This is not the same thing as a nutrient deficiency, and let me tell you why. While nutrient deficiencies can lead the body to suffer, many people strive for adequacies, like the RDA, thinking that this is what's needed to maintain a level generally accepted as healthy, while optimum nutrient requirements are what is needed beyond the adequate level to achieve optimal health and brain function. The RDAs were developed as a guide to prevent deficiencies, but do not include quantities sufficient enough to provide for athletic nutrient requirements or optimum wellness and brain function. Consider the My Food Plate as an example of adequacies, in which foods are divided into various categories, such as fruits, grains, protein, and vegetables. Not all grains used in bread, cereal, and pasta are equal as far as their ability to provide optimum nutrients. Some grains in breads and cereal are whole grain and some are refined, highly processed, stripped of their shell or husk, and are bleached. The vegetable portion fails to distinguish the nutritional benefits between the different types of vegetables. Not all vegetables are equal in regards to their nutrient benefits. The food plate fails to identify which ingredients are more beneficial than others and doesn't display healthy fats. Optimum health and brain function requires an understanding that not all foods are equal and knowing which are best. Stress management. No one enjoys experiencing stress. However, stress is a part of life. If you are alive, you will at times experience stress. Daily stress can change the brain chemistry, and it has huge implications for the immune system. Stress can be so detrimental to health that it can increase blood pressure and even lead to a heart attack. Developing a strategy in which to manage stress helps maintain optimal health and brain function. Activity. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, recommends 2 hours and 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity every week, and muscle strengthening activities on 2 or more days per week that work all major muscle groups. Why is aerobic activity important? Well, you can probably imagine someone lifting weights, perhaps lifting a dumbbell and a bicep curl. One of the benefits of weightlifting is that in placing resistance upon the muscle, it becomes stronger and more toned. Each time increased amounts of resistance is used, the stronger and stronger the muscle becomes. Since your heart has no arms, it is unable to lift weights. How do you train or exercise the heart then, you may ask? We train the heart by aerobic activity. Increased intensity of exercise increases the rate at which your heart pumps blood. This is a good thing. Pumping faster and with a greater volume of blood exiting the heart actually increases the heart and makes it more efficient. So in time, the heart can work less and accomplish more. In other words, pump more blood with less effort. This also reduces your resting heart rate and is a good indication of heart health. It doesn't matter which activity you choose. If you like gardening, then garden. If you like walking, walk. Even house cleaning is an activity. The point is to get moving. Do what you enjoy and increase the heart rate. Recreation. I don't mean exercise, I mean fun stuff. What do you enjoy doing just for fun? Watching birds, flying kites, boating, knitting, reading, stargazing, doing crossword puzzles. Recreation is important for keeping life in balance and for recovery. Often, as adults, we tend to focus only on work and family and forget to take time out for ourselves. Relationships. How does a relationship affect my health and wellness and my brain function? Let me tell you. Have you ever spent time with someone who you really enjoy being around? You feel so happy being near this person. They're upbeat, positive, funny, and their energy is contagious. When you're happy and feeling good, endorphins, which are happy pills for the brain, are released and bring about even greater levels of joy. In one study out of Stanford University, student athletes found that happiness was more a result of their personality and temperament than it was of athletic prowess. Being around happy people can reinforce others to feel happy. And unfortunately, the opposite holds true as well. When you allow negativity or stress from other people in, it can release a stress hormone, cortisol, into the body. Higher and more prolonged levels of circulating cortisol have been shown to have a negative effect, such as impaired cognitive function, reduced thyroid function, decreased bone density, elevated blood pressure, lowered immune function, increased abdominal fat, and many others. Oxygen intake. Now this may seem obvious to bring up, but it is really important. In addition to being required to sustain life, oxygen intake affects numerous areas of wellness and brain function. Going without oxygen for a few minutes leads to brain damage and eventual death. Cells must receive adequate oxygen to produce energy. Some people feel tired due to inadequate oxygen intake. A large percentage of the population takes short, shallow breaths rather than long, deep, lung-expanding breaths. One of the benefits of exercise is to make the respiratory system more efficient and increase the lungs' capacity to receive oxygen. Regular medical wellness visits. You may be doing everything you can possibly think of to stay healthy. You're exercising on a regular basis, eating well-balanced, nutritious meals, and getting adequate rest, which is great. The annual wellness exam with your doctor or healthcare practitioner is a great idea to ensure that everything you are doing is showing up and resulting in a healthy you inside. Blood tests may reveal something that you didn't even know was going on, such as inflammation or reduced kidney function. If this were to happen, it's always best to discover an issue sooner than later, so steps may be taken to prevent a little issue from becoming a big problem. Undetected high blood pressure, for example, may lead to a stroke. How well did we teach? Please take our quick quiz number 2 to find out. Sleep loss has been associated with a wide range of negative health consequences, including an increased risk of hypertension, diabetes, obesity, depression, heart attack, and stroke. True or false? We can live for 40 days or more without water. True or false? Some people feel tired due to inadequate oxygen intake. True or false? Post your score for quick quiz number 2 on our Facebook page. Join the wellness revolution, those who are committed to becoming well and living life to the fullest. In our next program, entitled Self-Assessment, we dig deeper and provide a method to enable you to measure your current levels of wellness and brain function.